Pressures from flooding, drought, high-intensity storms, and extreme heat can disrupt water and agricultural systems, impact communities, business operations, supply chains, and broader economic security. Climate change adaptation can describe many different activities. These range from enhancing satellite-enabled weather information services and improving disaster early warning systems to building more resilient infrastructure, boosting sustainable agriculture, redesigning supply chains, and providing innovative insurance coverage. The world needs public and private investments across these activities in ways that are practicable, market-building, and highly effective. Climate change adaptation often takes a back seat to mitigation efforts focused on transitioning the global economy away from its greenhouse gas emitting base. But both are essential. As impacts have ramped up, global leaders across sectors need to seriously contend with adaptation from the perspectives of risk management, investment opportunities, and economic security. Countries across the Global South are already particularly affected by a slew of damaging climate change impacts. More than half of the additional deaths already anticipated from climate change are projected to happen in Africa. We will be dealing with these mounting stresses for decades to come. Poor resilience to the impacts of climate change around the world will contribute to economic shocks, conflicts, population displacements, disease, and the list goes on. Our systems are not prepared for this.
Yet despite the fact that we know that these disasters will continue, despite the fact that we all expect them to get much worse, the world is still not investing in preparing our communities for these disasters at anywhere near the scale that we need.
One evening in 2017, we had a major landslide, and in one evening alone, over 1,000 people died. For us, climate change is real. We see it every day, and it's impacting us like drastically.
Every 18 days, we have a $1 billion climate event somewhere on this planet. So adaptation is critical. President Biden has now launched a program called Prepare, and he has committed that we are going to help at least 500 million people in developing countries, especially in Africa, to be able to adapt to the worst impacts of this crisis.
Importantly, for scale and sustainability, work on adaptation and resilience issues needs to center the expertise and market orientation of the private sector.
If we overlook the innovation that's going to come from business, it's a huge mistake.
And for it to become truly investable and private sector or commercial actor ready, you've got to build on economies of scale. That means you've got to aggregate.
Policymakers need to confer with business leaders. They understand these issues in terms of risk management and investment opportunities. Initiatives like the President's Emergency Plan for Adaptation and Resilience have already begun to forge partnerships with companies across different industries, from climate data firms to financial services, and from construction businesses to insurance companies. Savvy businesses are going to find investment opportunities. Political and foreign policy discussions about climate adaptation and resilience are still in their infancy. This presents an opportunity to educate key stakeholders and frame or reframe the issues in a way that resonates and has positive global ripple effects.
Because if we're going to make progress, it's got to be bipartisan, right? I mean, you'll have some victories, but they're not as long-lasting and not as meaningful, and then they're attacked if they're not bipartisan.
It is going to require bipartisan support and a wider ecosystem of partners willing to test and implement new policies and programs to strengthen adaptation and resilience. Those of us who focus on global development and climate need to reach beyond our bubbles. Congress and the broader foreign policy and security communities need to be brought into these discussions to better understand adaptation issues and pending needs. At the heart of U.S. decision-making, we need an education effort to inform political dialogues and future approaches. Through research, convening, publishing, and media engagement, we can apply economic security, investment opportunity and risk management frames to issues of climate change adaptation and resilience.